Ladies and gentlemen, Keiki here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading. Today, market is up about 5.5% there. On the S&P Nasdaq, 7.3%. Semiconductor 10, Dow 4, Russell 2000, 6%. Transport, banks, energy, biotech, healthcare, home builders, utilities, retail, emerging market, every single sectors are in a deep green today. Bitcoin up 10%. Gold, silver miners are up quite a bit. Dollar down. Oil slightly up. Treasury bond up. VIX is down about 10% there. Let's do the S&P 500 ETF. Spider! 65-minute chart here. So this is what we closed yesterday, and we saw a significant gap up this morning.
America, 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 fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
And probably this is the biggest gap up we've seen this year. With that gap up, what happened was we were able to gap back above this swing high right here. So we did cultivate that higher high, and with that gap sustaining, as you can see right here, this big gap obviously still open. And that first out, a little bit of fluctuation, looks like prior resistance right here. That vicinity acted as support. Bulls brought it back up, a little high wave spinning top, but held up above the gap area. And the second hour, we continued third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and we marched higher every single hour with a little bit of strength and closing the day on a strong note on that sixth hour. And you might be wondering what that pink line is all about. I'm going to zoom out here and I'll show you. That's going to be the resistance rising pivot. I'm going to call this one. Rising pivot we're dealing with, as you can see right here, that's that swing high right here. That swing high is during early October, right? And then we got that swing high late October, early November here and here. And we closed right on that level. So we're dealing with this rising pivot or resistance here. Obviously, in the last several occasions, market did see a big tankage. After, it's interesting because you see these double tops here, right on that level. Same thing happened here, double top. We got a mini double top here along with a bigger double top in early November, and then we saw tankage. So we're right back at this level. Right back at this level. So this level is definitely a level that market might be aware of this market. If the buyers want to not deal with this level, this rising pivot right here, best case scenario is gapping up. Gap up above it. I call it the jumping over the fence, right? You don't want to deal with this resistance, knowing that last couple times we did see a big downturn in the market. Buyers might understand that this is a crucial level and they don't want to deal with another tankage. So maybe gapping up above it and holding that gap up will be the best case scenario for the most possible smooth transition to the upside, as all the boss bears have retreated to this down gap right here, 403, 4010. This entire this is a pretty sizable down gap. Ever since this down gap right here, right? In mid-September, we did see market coming down, straight down, plunging it down from a little more than a month and a half or so, right? And the sentiment of the entire market was extremely bearish during this time. And all of that came about when this down gap was never filled. And you can see bulls are trying to go after that one more time. All the boss players have retreated to this vicinity. As long as this down gap remains, bears going to put up some fight here. They're not going to just let the bulls come in and take their real estate. So this is important level, but we got a little bit of a troops here, bear troops, trying to hold this level there Another thing I actually wanted to talk about is real quick, since I haven't done video last couple days, I'll make this video a little bit longer here, so bear with me. You can see my midterm and my long-term moving average. This is the key moving averages which I've been talking about for the last 2 to 3 weeks, right? I've been talking about this level just because you can see that my midterm moving average here, resistance, here, well, here resistance, here support, here support. We came back right to that level just yesterday, and that's the level we saw big up gap this morning, and that's the level we see that is coinciding with my long-term moving average. And if I clear this up a little bit, you can see that my long-term moving average is slightly sloping higher here, and the midterm moving average has been sloping higher, right? Telling us that maybe in the midterm of things, the sentiment is shifting back to bullish. In the long term, however, when I say long term, I mean that, that long-term moving average right here, that's been declining quite some time here, acted as very, very strong resistance right there, and it's been coming down, right, for 2 months now. And it's been moving sideways and slightly sloping up today. And so it's gonna be these two moving averages. Moving averages are gonna be the key. If you guys are wondering if this bear market of 2022 has been completed, if you wanna know, it's gonna be important how this long-term moving average and the midterm moving average behave going forward. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Obviously, we have many levels that bears are working with. You can see right here, we got the September swing high and August peaks. All these levels with all these down gaps here, unless all those levels are reclaimed, right? In the overall scheme of things, there's still a lot of bearish sentiment out there as far as structurally the technical structure is concerned. Bulls are finding momentum here in the last month and a half or so right here. And for sure, they need to fill this down gap if they want to see anything further to the outside. Let's check out that oscillator. So that oscillator, you can see prematurely cross back up here. So after that downturn right here, last couple of days, instead of, bears putting it all the way back down to the bottom of his span, bear's been failing. You can see right here, there's space here, there's a space here, there's space here, there's space here. We talked about this before. When bears fail to bring that oscillator to all the way to the top of his band, in the midterm of things, they're slowly losing momentum, right? You can see the bulls are putting that oscillator all the way to the top of his band, right? Even this one, we didn't quite there, but it was a very small space. So really, bulls are doing their best to bring that oscillator all the way to the top of his band. They're working overtime to make sure they can get every bit of real estate they can get before falling back down. Because obviously, bulls and bears, when they get into they get into these runs, they need to rest. That's why we see this oscillator back and forth. Only problem for the bears is that when you see the bulls rest, bears have not been able to fully utilize and take advantage of the situation. And you can see how quickly, and especially this one right here, how quickly bulls were able to bring that oscillator back up with a big gap up today in that vicinity. Keep in mind though, that oscillator is not oversold, overbought yet. We have at least one more day should the buyers utilize that energy, because bulls are not higher yet. We still got a little bit of room there. And it makes sense that we are dealing with that, rising pivot right here. It makes sense that bulls could use this oscillator, that energy that they have left, to push it one more time so they can finally break above this level and they can go after 411 and battle with the boss bears. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening. Go train tomorrow.
Woo!